You know, I spent the day today at a high school where 60 students are working on something called the Calypso project. It's so innovative, and it's a high school, and it's a project to put a machine a kilometer under the water and collect water samples. And you could see the students' eyes, it's on fire, they love it. I was inspired by that, and I had heard the day before that there's some pride in the education, and when I went and saw that, I went, there is! So I was very excited about that. And I was also excited to be at the event here tonight. You know, I travel the world, I don't often get to sit down next to a sitting president, and to see him talk to the room and in a personal way, I mean, there's things to be fixed. And he's there saying we've got to be optimistic, we got to get there. And that's true, because if you stop being optimistic, you're not going to get anywhere. So you better get optimistic.
So is that your main message? Be optimistic, have a spark in your eyes, follow your dreams?
You know what, I think if you lay down and give up, you won't get anywhere. And I was bankrupt and lived in my car when I was 20. I had nothing. And I guess I could have just given up. It seemed impossible, really. What could you do? I had no education, bankrupt in my car. But I just kept going. I found some optimism. So I do think that's a required. You can't just hope, right? You've got to hope and act. So, I've been in Slovenia 2 days. I've been asking everybody I meet 1,000 questions, you know, and everyone knows it's beautiful here, and everyone knows it's very peaceful. It's not like a lot of fighting, and everyone feels like the healthcare's, you know, it's okay. I mean, it might be expensive, but you got healthcare. And your families are close. It's not like my daughter and my son are like 3,000 kilometers or more away. So here, family's close. So you have so much to be thankful for. And I think the other thing I noticed is it can feel hard. This is my sense, okay? It's only after talking to 5 or 10 people. But it's hard to feel, you know, what's your place in the world when your population's 2 million? The countries around you are bigger, and the world's spinning and doing what the world's going to do, no matter what happens. So what's your place? But I think my sense is it's making the people in Slovenia a little bit more hungry, and it makes them lean in a little bit more. And I think that actually there's a little bit of an advantage to that. You know, I study Singapore. I think if I were to have a role model for, not to be like Singapore, because that's not the same kind of democracy, but they're a tiny country. They're surrounded by giants. Who are they going to be? I think there's things, some of the things that they've done there, I think would be inspiring, and I constantly am thinking about how that can apply here. I think there's a lot of hope, and when you're a smaller country, it's easier to make some bigger changes. Do you know? It's easier to get cranked up. It's very hard to take a really, really big country and change much. So I'm very hopeful for Slovenia. I love it here. It's really amazing, starting with the people.